to the Festival of the Artisan. It's Saturday afternoon here in beautiful downtown Ashby-de-la-Zouch at the Venture Theatre, and we're going to present to you this afternoon the Artisan Club. But before we do, I've got to get through a few notices, parish notices, you know, the sort of thing. What's on today? Well, we've got the UK's best acoustic music this afternoon with a host of people, which I'm going to be introducing you to shortly. Saturday evening, we've got Elaine Davidson, The Long Road, and Blair Dunlop. It's going to be a great night. And if you want to watch last night's show, you can find that on catch-up in various places all over the net, on YouTube and on the festival site, etc. Festivaloftheartisan.co.uk, Facebook, YouTube, all those places. How to support us? Well, you can also go to festivaloftheartisan.co.uk/box office and pay what you feel if you want to help support these kind of events during these difficult times. I want to thank our sponsors, the Arts Council of England, and our main sponsor, the Sausage Man, who, by the way, I have to tell you, people, is doing vegan bundles. I don't know what they are, but they sound exciting. So if you fancy a vegan bundle, get in there. And so also, if you want any of the VIP passes, I didn't really sort of go into detail about them last night, but the VIP passes give you a host of things. It's worth about £100. You know, you've got, you can get our book, the American Wilderness Odyssey book. You can get a signed CD from Blair. You can get Steve's water bottles. He's got his own personalised water bottles, which is, I don't know if he's got his own personalised water, but he's certainly got the bottles. So, yeah, a load of things you can get, lots of goodies. So if you want to go for that and get all the backstage treats, that would be great. So, yeah, today I've got with me Callan on my right, and on my far right, I've got Paul Bunting. Now, as a side note, a historical side note, the last time Paul and I were on stage together, we believe, was about 44 years ago. So, but he's a newcomer today. So he takes a long time preparing things. That's what it's all about. So anyway, my name's Kev Moore, in case you didn't know. You probably didn't, but you do now. I'm going to do a song for you, one of my own songs that I wrote a long time ago. I've never performed it live, so you'll probably see why in a minute. But it's kind of about what we're doing to the earth, which is, you know, predominantly bad, isn't it? And sadly, since I wrote it, 10 years ago, things haven't really got any better. So let's hope we can do something about that. This one's called Last Man Standing. Sky is plain, is clear. She's weary of the passing year. Why do we rape the land, all in the name of man? I do not thank you for this bloody harvest bred by war. The lifeblood of our world, now on the hands of all the boys and girls. How did we really go so wrong? This precious resource will only last so long. Why don't you open up your eyes? Don't leave it to the last man standing. If I'm not around, don't hit the ground. Stand up and be counted. Why aren't you fighting for your rights? Even when the world's against you, believe in yourself, fight to the bell. Don't ever let them win. Don't ever let them win. Till you're the last man standing. Take a step back down, take the time to look around. Make it clear to those with answers in their hands. Do them turn away, oblivious to judgment day. The pennies on their eyes must be removed if we want brighter skies. How did we make all these mistakes? We better watch this, baby, or else the bow will break. Why don't you open up your eyes? Don't leave it to the last man standing. If I'm not around, don't hit the ground. Well, stand up and be counted. Why aren't you fighting for your rights? Even when the world's against you, believe in yourself, fight to the bell. Don't ever let them win. Don't ever let them win. Till you're the last man standing. Thank you. Thank you very much. There you go, that's something called Last Man Standing. All right, now then, I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Paul Bunting over there on my far right, and he's going to do a couple of beautiful songs for you now, and this next one will really tug on your heartstrings. Please give it up for Paul Bunting. This is Normandy Waltz.
Thank you. Thank you, and before I start, my real big thanks to Steve for asking me to come along and play today. It's lovely to be out playing. Right, yeah, a long time ago when I was a very young chap and I was nursing on an elderly ward and an old lady passed away, and I was helping her daughter to sort of collect her things together. And as me and the daughter were excuse me, tidying things up, we found a letter in the bottom of a drawer. And daughter didn't know who the letter could have been from. It was just a mystery. So this song is called Normandy Waltz, and it's basically the gist of it is the contents of that letter. The first time I asked you to dance, it was the old village hall, thick with romance. My pals, we just got over from France in a rusty old fishing boat. Oh, we were under-equipped, it was desperate work. The Germans had us pushed right back to Dunkirk, and when our Charlie got shot, Lord, I went berserk. He lies in some foreign field now. So roll back the carpet, let the loud trumpet play, and dance like Fred Astaire for a day. And after the band's packed up and gone away, we'll dance our lives through. It's been a long time, oh, since I was last home. Grandpa's old house, just rubble and stone. The Luftwaffe could have left him alone. He'd never heard to fly. And I look to the east, the sun gently goes down, and the lights all switched off over London town, and I wonder ever how long I'll be around, but I'll love you till I die. So roll back the carpet, let the loud trumpet play, and dance like Fred Astaire for a day. And after the band's packed up and gone away, we'll dance our lives through, and I'll never forget you. Okay. I'll move to my second instrument of choice. There we are. Right, this is my seafaring song. I was born and brought up in Derbyshire, which is a fine coastal scenery. You can see all the way out if your eyesight's really good. The only better place for coast is Leicestershire. So I wrote this from the pretty little harbour town of Chesterfield. It's called Child of the Sea. Carry me away across the sparkling blue ocean. Let the stars be my compass, let the wind carry me. Leave behind thoughts of home, and never look landward. Spend the rest of my life as a child of the sea, as the captain of a ship. You're like the king of a country, your crew are your subjects, and the island's your realm. And you sail this bold ocean, the islands to conquer, with your face to the wind and your hand at the helm. Like old Edward Teach, the notorious pirate, he killed and he plundered, and he ran wild and free, and he lived by the sword, and he died by the pistol, and every man feared that old dog of the sea. Oh, life on the ocean, it's adventure and danger, no roads leading nowhere, no mountains to climb. And when you reached the end, you've only found the beginning. So I'll choose this blue highway, and I'll make it mine. Houses lie sleeping, smoke twists to the heavens, and the home fires burn. My heart beats with the waves, my blood runs with salt water. I will take to the sea and never return. I will take to the sea and never return. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Now you explained how you came to write the first of those songs. Obviously, that's a gift to find a letter like that. What normally sort of inspires you? Is it like a subject first, or do you get like a guitar or a piano figure that gives you an idea to write something? You know?
Yeah, I'd really like to sort of say I get these wonderful ideas and, you know, deep sort of philosophical. No, I get pretty little tunes in my head on the guitar and it goes from there.
That's cool.
It's as boring as that.
That's great. It's what works for people, isn't it? But anyway, Paul will be back with some more stuff later. But for now, I'm going to introduce you to Callan in the centre here, who hails from, is it Swansea you hail from, yeah?
Yeah. South Wales.
And so you're pretty new to me. So what kind of things inspire you to write your material?
Just everything really. I mean, I champion a lot of struggles of like the individual, I guess. So there is kind of that philosophical side to things. Mm-hmm. I like my existential philosophy, so I like Kierkegaard and like Sartre. But just what I see of life, and then just how I can
reflect that in your music.
Yeah, just how I can convey that, because Calon's actually Welsh for heart, so I like to think a lot of my songs come from a good place.
The best place for them to come from, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Callan. I think Fever, is that your first song today?
Yeah, Fever.
So please give it up, Callan.
Thanks very much, Kev. I just want to say a quick thank you to the Artisan Club for putting this on, just because, I mean, for me, this has been the first gig in about a year and a few months, but hopefully it's not going to be the last for a lot of us. So this first song that I'm going to play is called Fever. I write with a lot of double meanings. So this one is kind of like the anxiety, I guess, you get when you meet someone new for the first time, if it's like a significant other, but it's also kind of about anxiety in itself. So yeah, I hope the lyrics do the job of explaining a bit more.
Still farther than where you began. You think the right time was just the one time. Overnight success. Are we just underdressed to impress? Ooh, ooh, ooh. The fever whenever you're nearer. To be in the making, do 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 dun 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 dun. Slowly, but without a way, are you leave me at the end of the day? Do you think the one time was the only time? So where do we fall, if anywhere at all? Ooh, ooh. The whenever you're nearer. Are we aching to be in the making? Do 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 dun 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 Got me on the run, holding up the sun. Ooh, got me on the run. The fever whenever you need run. And we aching to be in the making. That fever whenever you need run. This was all part of the plan.
Thank you. So this next song, I went with a bit of alliteration here because that one was called Fever and this one's called Familiar. I'd like to think that I'd have like 6 or 7 songs with Fs just so I could go through each one. It'd be a lot easier to categorize them alphabetically. This one I actually released as a second single, and it's got kind of like a jazzy feel to it again. A lot of my influences come from like jazz music and Jeff Buckley in particular. You could probably tell with like the falsetto. But this song, I wrote it kind of as like a love song for people who hadn't found love yet. It's that kind of hope that, you know, there's like people around the corner, but also to kind of like take your times with things. So this song is called Familiar.
Seeing all in someone new. Above the gray, there's the blue. And pleased to meet you. Don't you know I'm sold? Tease right on cue and leave me feeling cold. Don't make me familiar, and I can do no wrong to you, who will be familiar. I hope that somewhere there's exceptions to the rule. For me once or all the time, my neck is on the dotted line. These are gaps that are better off filled. Be the one that sees the day, but not the one who's standing still. So make me familiar, and I can do no wrong to you. Ooh, this feels so familiar. I don't give up on exceptions to the rule. I can be a slow dance. I can be the one that you'll overthrow. It's just a little romance Or is it something that'll only go to show this will be familiar? And who can do no wrong? It's me and you. I will be familiar. I don't give up on exceptions to the rule. This will be familiar. And who can do no wrong to me and you? So just be familiar. I know that you're my exception to the rule, 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 to the rule.
Thank you.
Thank you, Callan. Two great songs there. Okay, we're going to hear a little bit more from Callan later, but right now I'm going to inflict another one of mine on you. This is a song that I co-wrote with an ill-fated acoustic duo project a few years ago, and I just think it's got a nice sort of weird vibe about it. If you can make any sense of the lyrics, please send the answers on a postcard. It's called The Last Great War. I saw the dragon angels fall down from heaven, saw them falling from the sky, heard them choose the name of their unborn son or daughter, heard you asking why, saw you praying without the mantis, saw you wring your hands and cry. Through a crystal ball I saw this happening, saw you waving goodbye. And I sat here remembering while you rode upon the water, sailing on a crystal sea. Sat here remembering your face, your smile, your sadness, far away from me, from me. And a coup d'etat is coming on ship, on air, on land. Yes, a coup d'etat is coming without your God's command. Saw you dying upon this island, saw you hung out in the sun. I saw them put a sword inside you. I knew then that they had won. And I sat here remembering while you rode upon the water, sailing on a crystal sea. I sat here remembering your face, your smile, your sadness, far away from me, from me. I saw the dragon angels fall down from heaven, saw them falling one by one. I saw them fall on all the people there below, until all of them on. Dragons and angels, dragons and angels, dragons and angels from behind the sun. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now, from dragons and angels to dragonflies. Do you see what I did there, Paul? Did you like that link?
Oh, you amaze me.
I could do this for a living. This is a song from Paul. He's going to do a couple of songs for us now. I like this one. I think you sort of, you should be writing books, actually, and illustrating them with your songs, I think.
Time to do that.
You put aside some time. Put aside some time. Weekends. This is called The Dragonfly and the Princess.
Yes, The Dragonfly and the Princess. It's sung about what vain, pompous creatures men are. It's got a salutary lesson in the last verse for all you men out there, including myself. So I want to dedicate this to my lovely, long-suffering wife, Penny, who's looked after me all the way through the lockdown. It will be easy, the dragonfly said to himself as he glided the emerald pool, for me to marry a princess in the dragonfly kingdom to rule. He looked long at his own reflection, the blues and the greens of his tail, and the way that the sun lit up his wings. As across the pool he sailed. So he flew to the palace of the dragonflies and bowed low before the king. Lord, may I court your daughter and marry her in the spring? The king peered down from his lofty throne. At the dragonfly he did glare. Do you love her for her beauty, lad, or the kingdom for to share? Oh, for her beauty, said the dragonfly, I've heard it said to me, her wings are like the rainbows that spread across the sea. Oh, then be married, said the king to the dragonfly, rule the lake at the end of the road. But as you two skim the shimmering water, beware of the grey-skinned toad. So the couple, they were married, and across the pool did skim. Dragonfly gave her all his love, and she looked after him. But one day as they skimmed the shimmering lake, the dragonfly failed to see the toad take his princess gastronomically. And he wept so for his princess, and the salty tears he cried spilt out of the lake at the end of the road and down the mountainside. Weeping for his princess, he cried from June to May, which is why the water in the sea is salty to this day. So heed this tale of the dragonfly and apply it to your life, especially those among you with a pretty intelligent wife. For in all life situations, everything you do, there's always some horrible horny toad ready to take her away from you. Where's my water? I do find this singing stressful, you know. Right. Yeah, I'm going to make some funny noises in this song, but they're meant to be there. I'm not just sort of
Not having a fit or
struggling
anything.
with my mental. This is called What Happened When They Tried to Teach the Octopus to Sing. And I've chosen to do this one for the Artisan because I think the words actually chime into the Artisan philosophy about sort of singing from the heart and making songs your own and not relying on science and technology. So here we go. I'll tell you all the story, said old Grandfather Whale, as all the little fishes gathered round him in a ring, of how Father Neptune, the ruler of the waves, tried to teach the octopus to sing. Now the octopus lived all alone in a house of shell and coral, hidden in the seaweed at the corner of the sea. And he blushed and stammered shyly as Father Neptune came inside and said, "Do, have another cup of tea." Now the octopus was made to sing notes of different pitch, but the poor old fellow sounded as if in pain. And he practiced night and day with his intervals and scales, but his efforts were sadly all in vain. So the octopus swam off and found a rocky crag, and there he made himself a home. Alone at night he hummed himself to sleep, making up little tunes of his own. They went and the songs and serenades riffed around the waves, and the songs and serenades lit up the caves, and the words were of a magic that time itself forgot, harmonizing sweetly with the waves. Father Neptune said, rising from his bed, "How sweetly doth the octopus sing. Bring him to me so I can learn this craft, and I would surely give him anything." So the octopus was summoned and invited to explain the science and the theory of writing songs. But a tear stood in his eye, he said, "I couldn't try," and his face grew very, very long. You see, this songwriting lark, it's rather difficult to explain, and it's even more difficult to pass on. You see, songs don't sound too terrific if you make them scientific. Overthink it and the inspiration's gone. Oh, they can sound rather dreary if you put in too much theory. Positively autophagic, and it takes away the magic. And they do sound rather poor. This I'll show the door. Overthink it and the inspiration's gone, gone, gone. Overthink it and the inspirations. Thank you.
Is that it? Oh.
Yeah, thank God.
I thought I was gone. Oh yes, because it's got a long title, hasn't it? I thought there was another one. Right. Okay. I was there. I was in the octopus's garden. Right. Thanks, Paul. That was marvellous. Okay, Callan. So your next song is called "Shine." Yeah?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
So, just a bit of an intro to this song. A lot of the songs I'm playing today have been written during sort of like the first lockdown. I find it's a bit harder to write songs nowadays because of lockdown fatigue and because of the weather. But this one, again, it kind of stems from seeing how people were like reacting to things and that's where the song title comes from. Shine is that everyone has their time to shine at some point. Just takes a bit of time, I guess. So yeah, again, I'll let the lyrics hopefully speak for themselves.
Take me to your place of worship. Hit me right between the eyes. Tell me that it isn't perfect and you know just how to find your peace of mind. Ooh, do we always fit that mold? Are we worth our weight in gold? Ooh, once in a while you will shine. Overall, we're onto something. Can you keep the wolves at bay? Give yourself another moment. If you had it another way, maybe that's the way. Ooh, do we always fit that mold? Do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Are we worth our weight in gold? Ooh, once in a while they will shine. Every once in a while they will shine. Once in a while they will shine. Are we butter? Are we sold? Will you do just as you're told? Ooh, are you bad because you're bold? Ooh, are we slower now? Are we good to go? Are we slower now? Are we good to go? Once in a while you will shine. Every once in a while you will shine. Once in a while you will shine. Once in a while you will shine.
Thank you. Okay, so that was Shine. This next one is actually going to be a new single of mine coming out at the end of April. This one I wrote, I think it's about a year and a half ago, but I had the chord sequence for a while. And it's, I'd say it was kind of triggered by a relationship ending, but it's not about that particular relationship. But it's about the kind of the transitions that we make, the different people that we see and meet, and eventually, drift and come to and fro. So it's called Reign of Cameos.
How have you been? Oh, the same. I'm not your king or any other name. I've been to and fro. I bet there's someone that you didn't want to know. You and I had the drive, but not the soul. We have a home. Is there time to know you were right in the middle of the flame in the ray of chemicals? And can we both seek and hide from the game? You're not my queen, and you're not to blame. I need no repeat for this habit of mine to see things as defeats. We have a hope. Is there time to know you were right in the middle of the flame in the rain of chemicals? How have you been? Oh, the same.
Thank you.
Thank you, Callan. There you go. That's Callan's new single out in April. Is that right?
Yeah. So end of April.
So get on to that, and also check out his social media presence if you want to find out more about his music. Okay, Paul, you're going to do another one now, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is called Time. Is that right?
Yeah, they said write a song about something that you've seen a lot of. 64 this year. There's a song about being 64. Somebody wrote once. I'm not going to sing that now. Right, I've pinched the melody a bit from an Irish folk song. Time waits for no one, so the wise men say. When you need it most, it slips through your fingers, and when it's gone to stay. Or it falls into your memories, and its mind is its own. It is all of life as it ticks on by, and it never leaves you alone. And on days when I think I have plenty of time. I waste it all away. Its memories leave their scars and their traces, and when it's gone to stay. And you never think about it unless you take the time. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, and it's neither yours nor mine. If you never learn to take your time, time may just take you. So mark it well, and mark it now, before your time is through. Oh, and never dare to tell the time. You can't tell it anything, 'cause it knows where you've been, and it knows where you're going, and it knows what the future will bring. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Wonderful stuff. All right, going to have one more song from Callan in this set right now. Is this called The Show Goes On, yeah?
On with the show.
On with the show.
Ironically, as the show is ending.
Yes. See what you did there. It's kind of an ironic way to run the afternoon, yeah. So I'd like to take this opportunity before we start winding things up in this particular segment to thank Callan and Paul. Been a beautiful afternoon so far. What do you think, yeah? You out there in internet land, can I hear you? Thank you. Take it away, Callan. Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks for that, Kev. Can I just say some lovely singing from you, Paul? And I hope that when I'm 64, I can write and sing as well as you can.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed your playing so much. And your Chinese chords are wonderful.
I do call them arthritic chords, so maybe I'll maybe that'll be the death of my guitar playing in the future.
Beautiful.
This song I wrote quite recently, actually. So a few years back, I travelled to New Zealand for what was originally a 2-month trip, which turned into 3 years. As you do, you just like somewhere that you just want to stay there as long as you want. So I wrote this kind of like there's a bit of I think the Portuguese call it saudade, which is like reflecting back on sort of like a time like well spent. So there's a bit of like a melancholic feel to it, but there's also a well, as the title suggests, on with the show. So you know, even though you've had good memories, you can still just keep going on, because there might be a good memory coming around the corner. So this one has that travelling feel to it as well, but it could be put to any kind of situation about moving on.
Whatever will you find 10,000 miles away? Your guess is as good as mine. You're not the first to say. Maybe I'll feel renewed, or scared down to the bone. You ask me what I would do, but nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. I have my own suspicions. So is this the last time, as far as I know? And to the next one, and on with the show. Put me on a plane, then I can't believe. Even when there's rain, I won't ever wanna leave. Funny how a distant memory still takes your breath away. Now I'm back again on another shore. I've got a feeling that I've been here before. Tell me more than sunshine if I make me wanna stay. Make me wanna stay. Ooh. So is this the last time, as far as I know? And to the next one, and on with the show. As far as I know. On to the next one, and on with the show. Is this the last time, as far as you know? On to the next one, and on with your show.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Thank you, Callan. Excellent stuff. Okay, well, just falls to me to finish off with a song for you. This is a Chris Stapleton number that is hopefully simple enough that I can play it, and conveys a nice sort of Americana sort of vibe. I'm sure you're familiar with it. This one's called Tennessee Whiskey. Used to spend my nights out in a bar room. Liquor was the only love I'd ever known. But you rescued me from reaching from the bottom, yeah. Brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're a sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay strong on your love all the time, yeah. I've looked for love in all the same old places, yeah. Found the bottom of a bottle always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it, no, no. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. Oh, you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're a sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time, yeah. You're as smooth Tennessee whiskey. You're a sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. But honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Callan. And I mean, what a gift to be hosting this afternoon and listening to these wonderful guys play. Absolutely wonderful. And you've been lucky enough to join in. Now then, next up is part 2, and we're going to have Jana and Ed Ramsey alongside me here on the carpet. They get the carpet. No carpet for me. It's bloody floorboards for me. But I'm a professional, I'll deal with it. And we're going to be back in about 20 minutes or so. But in the meantime, we've got a montage we're going to show you of some of the people who kind of... We wanted to get onto the Artisan Club, but we simply haven't had time to fit everybody in. So there's some of the entrants that were up for it, and you're going to see a montage of them now. And a special episode of the Artisan Music Show featuring Elaine Davidson, who's going to be on tonight. So don't forget, get in there, get your VIP passes, log on to festivaloftheartisan.co.uk and sort of join in, and we'll be back very soon.
hearts as they go their separate ways. Oh, love, love, love is the only thing that is keeping me from everything. And time, time, time is another word that is stopping me and growing cold. Shine a light. Love, 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 until it's my day.
I used to play for pennies, I mostly play for free. I'll play for anybody who won't walk away from me. Course I play for money, I do when I can, but you felt the baby kicking, so guess it's change of plan. You felt the baby kicking, so guess it's change of plan. We used to try another city, turn another page, get ourselves some dead-end jobs on less than basic wage. Now I need to
and change the world. And Frank, the Lala group, beat bridges, where thunder, poets, teachers with pen and ink, they try to reach us, but the whole world is silent. One small voice inspires us and inspires us. A pen can be mightier than a sword, so sing your story, write your words with eloquent lyrics and powerful chords. Who says that you or I can change the world? Change the world, can change the world. We can change the world. We can change the world.
The wine flows like water at the end of the day. It's hard to keep them ghosts at bay. When it comes to judgment time, they'll be all standing in line, waiting to condemn me to hell for wasting their time. Standing on the shoreline, watching the tide slip away, just waiting, it's the price I've paid.
transatlantic connection we're exploring is that you just keep finding these hidden gems. These people I've not come across before, but are really knockout. And today's guest is one of those. Elaine Davidson. She's based up in Cumbria. Wonderful voice. Lovely mix of folk, country, jazz, blues. The story is almost archetypical, if that's the right word. You know, busking around Europe, fruit picking, hanging out, getting your act together. Back to England, 2 albums, and then a call. Then a call from somebody who phones you from Los Angeles and says, perhaps you want to come over here.
Tell me, how did you get from Cumbria to Laurel Canyon and start recording there? What's the story there?
I've been travelling when I was younger. Music career starts off doing busking and wanted to join a band, so I came back home. And for the first band I set up, there was a young guy we met a couple of people we met in the music shop in Carlisle. We saw him play guitar, so we invited him into the band. But when we got to play, and he only knew 3 songs really, really well. So then we had this young lad on our hands, and my husband, who had basically sent him to the local Ollie Alcock, who was a brilliant guitar teacher, and he tutored him. And then we started playing the clubs and stuff to make money. Anyway, he was here for a couple of years. He disappears, and we lose complete track of him. And then 2013, somebody said, "Oh, have you seen Warren?" Turns out now he's a record producer. So we connected on Facebook. I was already going to make another album. I've made 2, and I was in the process of making the 3rd. I sent him some of the tracks, and he said he wanted to record them. And he had a studio in LA, so that didn't take too long to say, right? So this is amazing. I don't know how this happens. It's like a fairy tale, isn't it? So at that point in time, I had 2 people in that band. So we booked somewhere Airbnb in the canyon, and we went over and we made the album Can't Tell the River in a place called Sunset Sound. We were staying right at the top of the mountain. You could see the Hollywood Hills sign in the background. And anyway, so we made an album, and then we went travelling around California. A friend of mine said, "Well, you can't just go there and come back again." So she turned up after we finished the album, and she hired a white Mustang convertible.
Wow.
And we went travelling all around California in this. It's like proper. It was just.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've not been to California for 30 years, so, there's a spirit about the place, isn't there?
Well, certainly the canyon, where you go down in the morning, the place called the Country Store, and they're still playing like hippie songs and stuff. So all these creative types come down in the morning for the coffee. People I got to meet, just sitting there talking to them. Just really great. The Country Store, if you look it up.
Well, why don't we hear one of the songs then?
This is a song that I wrote so we left the canyon. I was with my friend. It was just about California, how much I'd been taken with it, and how much I didn't want to leave.
Let's hear it.
Ready to go, suitcase packed, talking as if I will leave it, talking a good talk, matter of fact, it's only my heart I'm deceiving. It's still California that I'm dreaming.
you really got the vibe of the place there. There's a few old ghosts hanging around that song. It was lovely. But tell me about where your songs come from for yourself.
Well, it's going to sound a little bit weird, but I feel like I don't necessarily write them.
I get that.
To just like turn up kind of thing. So there's this feeling of like, oh right, okay, that turned up kind of. But sometimes I've got like times when I've been writing one song after the other kind of thing, and then there's other times where there's long periods where I don't necessarily write anything. I kind of trust that. I don't like to labour it. I feel if I've got to the point where I'm labouring a song, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Songs that just seem to turn up out of nowhere, that to me seem like the best.
My version of that is every guitar's got a number of songs inside it, and it just takes a while to coax them all out.
This guitar's doing pretty good on that front then. Really.
And what shaped you as a writer? What did you listen to when you were younger and you thought, oh yeah, I like this. This is where I want to go?
When I was like 15, 16, I was listening to Ry Cooder, and I was probably tuned into quite a lot of American stuff, you know, John Martin, a lot of those type of stuff. I remember thinking when I listened to Joan Armatraders, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, we stand on the shoulders of lots of people with what we do. Where should people find your stuff?
I've got a website, elainedavidson.com. It's not .co.uk. That's another Elaine Davidson. So if you see that woman, if you see that woman with all those piercings and tattoos, that's not me.
So what's your next song going to be?
Can't Wait to See You Tonight.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Elaine, and let's see what you're going to do.
Can't wait to see you tonight, under the open sky, free as you like. Can't wait to be where you are, on some distant planet, some lonely star, and this feeling inside has given me nowhere to hide. Starry sky, midnight, blue diamond night, silver moon, can't say, don't know why. You give me butterflies, winter sun left the sky, suddenly made me cry. Take me and keep me dry, take me to paradise. Can't wait to see you tonight. And where will I find you this night? In these cities of doorways, cities of light.
Hello and welcome back to Artisan Club, part the second. Yes, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that my compatriots on stage have changed now. And once again, they've been given the carpet. I'll get over it. And so let me just go through a few things once again for you. I'm sorry to keep harping on, but you know. If you want to help out with what we're doing down here, which I think is going pretty swimmingly, festivaloftheartisan.co.uk/box office, and just pay what you feel, you know, buy us a coffee or whatever if you're having a good time and enjoying yourselves. And once again, big thanks to all our sponsors, including the Sausage Man and his veggie, whatever they're called, veggie bundles, yes. And there you go. I've got Ed Ramsey and Jana with me on the far right over there. They're going to be entertaining you very shortly, but you're going to have to listen to me first, so deal with that. So this is a song. This is probably, I might be correct, but I think it might be the first song that Steve Bonham and I wrote for about 44 years. We're not a very prolific songwriting partnership. We wrote one when we were about 12, and then when Steve and I met again later in life, we decided to write some more. So this is a version of a song that we recorded as The Long Road, and it's called I Won't Lay My Guitar Down. Stood my ground in Berlin, got stoned in a Spanish bar, slept alone or with Mary Lou in the back seat of my car. Been called a son and a young man by a loser half my age. Been robbed by a cheating angel, yeah, as I stumbled off the stage. Heard the daughter crying, a lonesome kind of sound. One thing you can never say to me is that I lay my guitar down, 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 lay it down. I got chased out of Memphis 'cause the loser played the fool. Took my vows way past midnight from New Orleans to Liverpool. I knew the chords to Blue Bayou, walked on home with Miss Carousel, drunk a while with old Wild Johnny, just to hear him ring his bell. Heard the daughter crying, it's a lonesome kind of sound. One thing you will never say to me is that I lay my guitar down, 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 lay it down. I won't lay my guitar down. It's the last thing I'll ever do. It's always been a friend of mine when I was left out in the cold. My old man was a fine man, didn't get that far from home. Laid his sweat upon the table, but in his heart he'd always roam. So I hitched a ride on the railroad, let it carry me away. Seems I spent a lifetime running. Guess we all check out someday. Heard the daughter crying. It's a lonesome kind of sound, yeah. One thing you will never say of me is that I lay my guitar down, down, down. Never gonna lay it down. I won't lay my guitar down. It's the last thing I'll ever do. It's always been a friend of mine. When I was left out in the cold, I won't forsake my guitar. It's all I've ever had. I won't lose that sense of wonder in the evening of my soul. Thank you. There you go. Won't lay my guitar down. All right, I'd like to introduce to you Jana over there on my far right. And can I ask you, Jana, what sort of subjects inspire you to write? What's your writing process? Do you get sort of an idea from what's happening around you in life, or do you kind of come up with a guitar figure that inspires you? Or
well, I try to mix it up.
Yeah.
Because it's always something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to like say what everyone else is saying, but it's true. Like, it's like who you talk to, is the movies you watch, it's the stupid sign on the road, anything. Anything,
absolutely, yeah. So your first song for us today is Sandberg. Take it away, thank you.
That's right. So this song, Sandberg, it's the name of a sandy hill that is part of a reservation, which is on the borders of Slovakia and Austria, which is where my parents still live, where I come from. And it's a really special place because thousands of years ago, probably more, now that it's a hill, it was actually as a ocean floor. And you can still find little shells and bits of sea creatures. Not alive, but you know. Yeah, so this is a home. This is a song about home. If the feathers fall off a sparrow's wings, I'll be flying low, blowing kisses to the wind, and the birds will not find me, earth will not bind me. I will walk with my feet in the sand, my heart is a land that was once under the sea. When your river's dry and you're moving slow, in your younger mind, those places never grow. Even if your soul falls ill, this soil will be standing still, waiting for your feet in the sand. Heart is a land that was once under the sea. Oh,
Oh, even if your soul falls ill, the soil will be standing still, waiting for your feet in the sand. Your heart is a land that was once under the sea. Oh, under the sea. Oh, under the sea. Oh, under the sea. Thank you. Thank you. This next one is called Family of Strangers because when I first came to London from Slovakia, it was just the mixture of people that I met, Spanish, Italian, French, basically none of them, nobody was English really. And it just made me think we are all here for the same thing, roughly. And that makes us a family, I guess. So this is Family of Strangers. I come from a small place far away, where life could be so simple. And I've had so much, and yet I couldn't stay. I left my tribe, I left my people. They sailed away far America, those great grandfathers of mine, between dreams and the miracles, a family of strangers who built that steel skyline. Don't wanna bother you with my past, 'cause I'm living for today. Still on the edge, I'm an outcast, closer to the middle, I'm halfway. Deal me the cards, I've got a lucky hand. I found my village in this town, and the tribe for which I stand. Family of strangers in the new homeland. years of mine, between dreams and the miracles, family of strangers who built that steel skyline. Thank you.
Lovely, Jana. Thank you. Thank you very much. More from Jana later, but right now I'm going to introduce you to Ed Ramsey on my right here. Where do you hail from, Ed?
Croydon, currently.
Croydon, currently. There you go. It's the rock and roll capital of the world, as you all know out there. So Ed's first song is something that the title already speaks volumes to me, given my advanced years. It's called Years Skip Past Us. So take it away, Ed. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, this song is called Years Skip Past You. Background would probably be, so I claim to be a Londoner. I've only been there for 4 years. But one thing I've noticed is the stark difference between London and the rest of the country. But the main line, main chorus line for this song, I actually found on a tube. On the Bakerloo line, the words, "Years skipped past you on the throne, fortune favours gold alone." I saw scrawled into the Bakerloo line window, and I put it in this song. So it's sort of about the parasocial relationships we have with celebrities and royal family and that sort of thing. And it's from the perspective of a child. There's a kid in my school, mum, and he seems pretty weird. When his father drove him in today, 100 people cheered. I got a look at his blonde hair, his suit made out of money. If it weren't for all his bodyguards, I might have found it funny. But he spoke to me this afternoon and told me he was sad, and I couldn't help but ask him why. He said, "Where do we go when we die? What do we do when the world sighs over and over? He feels like an ogre, mum. And the papers seem to say the people like him, but I think he feels alone." There's a kid in my class, mum, he was on our TV screen. He's sworn off social media, he won't look at magazines. They only talk about his parents and his clothes. But I just think that they're trying to give themselves something they can boast about. And of all the topics he might peruse, who'd have thought that this would be the one he'd choose? Where do we go when we die? What do we do when the world sighs over and over? I feel like an ogre, mum. And the papers seem to say that people like me, but I think I feel alone. There's a kid in my room, mum, he seems pretty sad. He's hiding from the cameras, hiding from a life he doesn't know what he wants. For goodness sake, he's 10, but a week goes by and there they are at his window yet again. And he told me what his father said one night when he was lying in his bed. He said, years skip past you on the throne, fortune favors gold alone. And son, I don't know where we go when we die. I don't know what we do when the world sighs over and over. We should all feel like ogres, son. And the papers seem to say that people like us, but I think we feel alone. What do we do when the world sighs over and over? We all feel like ogres, Mum. And the papers seem to think that we're together, but I think we feel alone. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. This next song. So I have there's a couple of different spaces in my home that I like to write songs in, and one of them, I was trying to write this song and I couldn't come up with anything. I came up with the sort of melody and the chord structures, and then I was like, but I don't know what to do for the lyrics. And I looked around me, and in that room we have like a collection of these sort of old sort of sketches and stuff, and I just decided to write a verse inspired by each of those sketches, and then there's also a common theme. So this song is called The River. Well, Sally was a long-lost child who found herself a job on the stage. She played Cleo to a standing ovation, and the nation became proud of their Sally. Don't know how she crossed the river. And Bertie was a stuntman for an eccentric rich filmmaker in the 30s. He spent hours lying on a wall to prove his will, until the bridge collapsed, and now we hope and pray perhaps he swam the river. And Johnny was a young man who just made it into college. Well, God help him. The buildings were magnificent and splendid, but when did he lose touch? Was it when it cost too much to cross the river? Whoa, cross the river. Whoa, cross the river. Well, Liza made the dresses for the Sallys of the world, and she was kind. They spoke of her as though she were a prophet, but of it nothing came, and so she went around again back to the river. And Harry was a veteran from the Empire, standing in the Place Vendôme. The anger made him worry for his daughter. He He thought her future square, but she stood shouting at him there before the river came. And Polly was a farm girl, though she'd never let the gents from London know. She saved up for a dress to prove them bullies, and in the Grand Hotel they faint as she was raising hell to bring the river down. Whoa, bring the river down. Oh, bring the river down. Well, Elizabeth was a girl you might have loved more than anybody else. She found herself a man that shares your name, and it began to rain, and it was never quite the same, thanks to the river. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. You know, I'm struck by listening to these people performing here today. You know, these are the tellers of stories, the singers of songs, and they are part of the fabric of what makes society good and true and makes us look at ourselves. And we lose all that at our peril. The arts are under assault as never before, and we really need to make sure that we can all get back out there. And it's not just about the artists, it's about the audience, it's about the people that we entertain, it's about the exchange of joy when we go out there and perform to audiences. And I miss it so much. I'm going to do a song now that is pertinent to that. It's about imagining a time where you're literally the last gigging band. And it sort of references musicians and people that we've known and I've known. It won't make sense to most of you, but all of these people have touched mine and other musicians' lives through the years, and it's about sort of meeting up on the other side as the last gigging band.
I align myself to the memory of our time way back in sand. Feel it all coming back to me, of those yesterdays we planned. Me and our friends in the universe, with great songs at our command. I remember them well, this side of hell, in the last gigging band. With Mac and Vic and Bobby, Jeff and Alan too, Nico, Steve and Tony are friends that I once knew. Some of them have passed away and some are living now. I remember them well, this side of hell, as the last gigging band. And the last gigging band, they will never fade away. The last gigging band are still with me today. The laughter and the memories of the last gigging band. And I'm back with them all than they used to be. Me and the last gigging band. I will always be a part of something new and something grand. Me and the boys and their stories, I will never understand how we lost it all to history with the last gigging band. If the last gigging band was still with me today, on a ship to the future, we'd all sail away, and all generations would marvel and say, come dance to the last gigging band. Come see the last gigging band. Oh yeah, last gigging band. There was Foss and Mike and Honeycomb, Jim and the Baron too, Tim and Paul and Kitter. These are friends that I once knew. Me and the boys with our simple joys, now their time is long overdue. 'Cause I plan in my head until I am dead to be with the last gigging band. And the last gigging band, they will never fade away. On a ship to the future, we'll all sail away. The laughter and the memories of the last gigging band. Last gigging band was still with me today. On a ship to the future, we'd all sail away, and all generations would marvel and say, come dance to the last gigging band. Come see the last gigging band. Last gigging band. Yes, we'll raise a glass to them. Here's to the last of them. Come see the last gigging band. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, back to Jana now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, in any case, I hope we are not the last gigging band. We're not a band, but you know. Yeah, I hope the gigs will come back stronger than ever and better paid and everything, you know. It's good to be dreaming. No, this feels very surreal actually to be performing for you. So for those of you who are watching, there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the audience. So it does feel like a real gig. Not that I'm saying that you are not a real audience if you're online, but it does feel different to be in a room with people. I never thought I said this. But, you know, this is what it is. I'm going to carry on with my song called Always With Me. Nothing good waits for me here. There's got to be more to live in than Sunday prayers and constant fear. To run out of money, you won't be forgiven. I've got a mind that wanders. Strong wind blows on my sails. Oh, and it takes some guts to be Jonah. You might get caught up in the stomach of a whale. Always with me when the dangers come. Always with me, the voice I heard. Choose I knew as a child, the face I grew lines to raise me. And I let go to run wild.
a ring. But there's a treasure I still haven't found. The freedom of spirit, not the jewels of the king. Mountain man says, let things go. Strong one shows me way with a sword. With a crazy one I stay out all night long. But it's not too long before I get bored. Always with me when the dangers come. Always with me, boys that hurt. Tunes I knew as a child, the face that grew lines to raise me. And I let go to run away. Always with me, every change of heart. Always with me, no matter how many times I start. Always with me. Always with me. Oh, I'm word bound. I can't wait to see. Faces I thought of when the days grew dark. No trace of fear that pursued me. There's my old home with a brand new spark. Always with me when the dangers come. Always with me, voice that hurts. Tunes I knew as a child, a face that grew last to raise me. And I let go to run away. Always with me, every change of heart. Always with me, no matter how many times I start. Always with me. Always with me. Always with me. Thank you. Thanks so much. This next one is called Canvas, and it's about the tremendous risk of opening up to someone completely new. They say wait in a line, wait for your time, your turn. So I waited, afraid and scared of taking chances. But now I am your canvas, so paint on me. And I'll wait tonight for a different kind of light. One that makes you open the curtain. Now I'm certain that I will take my chances with you. Now I am your canvas, but the world is a place in a madman's head. Who built fences and never learned from the tears he shed. Thousand screams drowned in a roar of a rising sea. Oh, whispers of love that had kissed your ear. Oh, we are taking chances. Must be something good in us. We are all canvas, so paint us new. We are all paint us new.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jana. You got a single out, is that right, soon?
Yeah, it's actually out already.
Oh, right.
It's called I Made It to the Shore, which for some reason I'm not playing it today, but
That's okay.
you can go and find it. Yeah, I Made It to the Shore, and also I weirdly changed my artist name, so it's not just Jana now. It's going to be Jana Varga, Varga, and it's Jana with a J to start.
Good, thank you. Okay, Ed, time for some more from you. What are you going to play for us next?
Cool, yeah. I'm actually going to play the song that I used to get here in the first place. Because I wanted to choose this one because just to echo the lovely nature of what this sort of stuff is. You know, without opportunities, like, you know, as someone like me who's relatively new starting out, opportunities like this are brilliant, and it's so nice to have such a lovely community of people supporting as well. So yeah, this is Homegrown People. If I can find which key I decided it was going to be in.
Well, I was walking in a forest in a far-off land, and I noticed something strange in the palm of my hand. And my mother said, "Don't worry." She looked into my eyes and she spread her wings, and all the things she loved took to the skies. She said, "Life can be lonely, life can be hard. Life is never only a question for your heart. It's not a past or present or a future at all. It's all those things at once. It rises and it falls, 'cause we're homegrown people with homegrown lives. And I think the best times are moments when we smile and think the world will never know how much I love you. So we can sit down in our circles and rage against machines, while foraging for answers in the pockets of our jeans, while the noise will never stop, 'cause we're the ones who speak. But when you listen real close, those words are dancing cheek to cheek. And there'll be beaches, there'll be sunsets for all of us to see. And the world will keep on turning, and you will still love me. And when we see you once again, I know I'll apologize for taking far too long to see you in the skies. 'Cause we're homegrown people with homegrown lives. And I think the best times are moments when we smile and think the world will never know how much I love you. Grown people with homegrown lives, and I think the best times are moments when we smile and think the world will take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home. Take me home, take me home, take me home, oh, take me home.
Thank you very much. Whoops. That's not where I'm going. There we go. This next song is called Blue Skies and Warm Suns. I don't really have much to say to prelude this, to be honest. It's a sort of... take what you want from the lyrics.
Blue skies and warm suns are getting tired of waiting for us. But they can wait a little longer, dear. Don't cry, the river won't take you to where you want to be. Earth just knows you better, and you never knew how I loved your smile, and she has it too, you know. And you hold everything in your arms. You hold everything in your arms. Blue skies and warm suns will have to get used to the fact that they'll have to live out their lives before you see the truth. The river won't be writing sweet crosswords at the crossroads of your life. Just knows you better, and you never knew how I loved your eyes, and she has them too, you know. And you hold everything in your arms. You hold everything in your arms. You hold everything in your arms.
Thank you, Ed. Okay, I think we've got time for one more from each of us right now, and going to start off with Jana.
Thank you. Sorry, each song is in a different key. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is my last one. It's called "I'll Be Your Light," and it's a bit of a giving hope song, I guess. We have a saying in Slovakia, where I come from. We say, "Don't paint the devil on the wall," meaning it's not that bad. It will get better. Don't worry. I wanna throw my worries on the floor, look at them when I'm no more. I wanna say the words of despair for the day my body doesn't care. Why can't strength be like happiness? You can give it even if you don't own it. It could be dark in this wilderness, but I'll be your light. I won't go building roofs just in case there's a rain. Life's sure slippery when it moves, but it's a shame to live it behind the window pane. Why can't strength be like happiness? You can give it even if you don't own it. It could be dark in this wilderness, but I'll be your light. Just in case there's a rain. Life's sure slippery and it's a move, but it's
it's a shame to live it behind the window pane. But it's a shame to live it behind the window pane. Thank you.
Thank you, Jana. Right, before we crack on, I'm going to ask you both the same question. Jana first. What musician or what moment inspired you to first sort of reach for a guitar and think, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, I reached for the piano first. I don't know. It was very straightforward because my dad is a musician, so it was always a lot of music around. And the first thing was singing, really. It was one particular moment when I saw Roxette on TV. Those earlier born, they know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So that was I'm an 80s child, so that was the moment I was like, oh, I can do that. I want to do that. So yeah, that was the moment, and then it just grew from there.
Yeah, that shows the age difference. I had a similar spark, but it was a little earlier than Roxette. Although I had already been playing in bands for a long time, but it was an album by Deep Purple that came out in 1974, the bass player Glenn Hughes, who wasn't the main singer in the band even, but the singer and bass player. And at the time I was a drummer, I was still only a kid, but I thought, no, I want to do that and stand at the front. So what about you, Ed?
Similarly, actually, I reached for a piano first as well. I'd say the artist that did that for me was Ben Folds. I'm a huge Ben Folds fan. Yeah. But then my best mate from school introduced me to Will Varley, he's just a brilliant lyricist, and his songs are so beautiful. So, and then he's really the folk sort of guitar artist that really made me want to pick up a guitar and see if I could do what he was doing.
Cool. Well, he obviously can, so here you go, Ed. Take it away.
Thank you. Have you ever had the feeling that you want to just walk out of the door and carry on walking forever and ever and ever and never stop, all the way around the world? Well, I had a friend from school who actually did that, basically. He obviously stopped, he had to. But he probably has no idea that I wrote this song inspired by him, actually. So this would be the first time he's ever heard this. But yeah, he sort of got tired of his university and just sort of started walking and carried on for ages and ages. So I wrote this song inspired by that, and also parts of myself ended up seeping in because that sort of happens. So this is called You. I might take it off. Or is that too high? We'll find out when I'm singing the high bits.
Well, you started as a baby, you fell into the world, your mother caught your eye, she turned around and told your father to go buy you something warm or something soft, and you ran around and you pissed yourself and you always wandered off, and you started school and hated it, just like everybody else. You were bullied just a little bit, bullied some yourself, but you adjusted and you grew. And you socialised enough, and you did your GCSEs, and you sort of toughened up. Then your school told you that uni was the place you had to go. So you packed your bags and said goodbye and felt so far from home. Then you made some friends and settled down. You even met a girl, and you did something bad, and you shattered her world. But your life is somehow yours, so try to get a grip, while the world just carries on anyway. Well, you're stranded at a party for hardly the first time. You've had a couple of beers and a few glasses of wine, and you're chatting to your mate. You never realised it's feeling pretty shit and has attempted suicide, and you hope that they're okay. You hope but they're alright. But you don't know a way to help. Well, you got yourself a 2-1. Congrats, it's not worth shit. You're working out of cupboards, you're practicing a bit, but your music's getting worse, and so's your hair. But your girlfriend's fully left you now, she finally wouldn't care. And you say that you don't like it, you try to get away. You're saving up some money to have a holiday, and your old friends are too busy, and your new friends are working, and your mother's getting worried, 'cause you've kind of stopped talking. But your life is still yours, so take it with some salt, while the world just carries on anyway. Well, one day you just said fuck it. You walked out of the door, walked for several hours, just along the shore, and suddenly it hit you. You saw a big old boat, and you bought yourself a ticket, and began your longest road. Now you're walking across France, meeting loads of people. The news began to notice you. One day you're on the radio, and you're talking about life, and how boring it is when you mope around and do your job, the constant smell of piss. So you carry on your walking, and soon you find your smile. So you keep on at it, another friend, another mile. And your life is really yours, you can almost feel it breathing, while the world just carries on anyway. Well, you're kind of out of money now, you don't have a home, plenty of missed calls, but you threw away your phone, and the bureaucrats gave up, 'cause you've been travelling so long that you almost could never decide that you were done. And you walk into a bar in a remote town, you ask for one last drink before you have to settle down, and the barman looks at you with a grin, and then he says, well, I wish that I could be you, but fuck me, you're a mess. And you turn around, and in the doorway, a face you recognize steps into the picture and looks into your eyes, and you watch her as she beckons and steps back out the bar, 'cause you'll follow her forever, no matter how far, 'cause your life was never yours, it belongs to other people, while the world just carries on anyway. The world just carries on anyway.
Ed Ramsey, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe should have trigger warned for swears, but...
Nah. We live on the edge here at the Artisan Club, mate. Right. So I'm going to finish with a song that was inspired by a trip that I did to the States back in 2010. And in fact, I hadn't really planned on writing anything particularly when I went, but I ended up with an 18-song album from it, so there was quite a lot of inspiration along the way. And I was down in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and it's an amazing place, as you might imagine, with the actual crossroads there, etc. And I learned about the blues singer Bessie Smith, who had been in a really bad motor accident down there on Highway 61. And she sort of survived it, and they took her to the local hospital, where she was turned away because she was black. And they then hurriedly took her along to the Riverside Motel, where they tried to save her, but it was in vain, and we lost one of the greatest blues singers before her time. And as I walked around Clarksdale with its disused and rusting railway sidings and its little sort of music joints and what have you, you can't help but feel her ghost walking there. This is called The Ghost of Bessie Smith.
Walked into Clarksdale, Bessie takes me by the hand, said she leaves me by the riverside where she makes a final stand, yeah. She left the blues beside her when St. Peter called her name. Now she's back and walking Clarksdale. She's gotta sing along. She came into the world in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and graced us with her presence till she died at 43. She met with such ill fortune, how on Highway 61, faded at the riverside, for the morning sun, yeah. Bessie, can you hear me? Are you waiting on the line? Can I get you to sing Downhearted Blues just one more time? Thought I caught your image on the Mississippi Trail. Or was it just a heat wave rising from the rails? They took her to the West Coast where they placed her in LA. But I've always wondered if she wanted it that way, yeah. So Bessie headed southwards in her gold celestial shoes. Her soul resides in Clarksdale. Gonna sing the blues, yeah. Bessie, can you hear me? Are you waiting on the line? Can I get you to sing Downhearted Blues just one more time? Thought I caught your image on the Mississippi Trail. Or was it just a heat wave rising from the rail? Thank you. There goes to Bessie Smith. All right, thank you so much to Jana and Ed Ramsey. It's been an absolute privilege to share the stage with you today. Thank you so much. And also, don't forget Paul and Calon, who were on earlier. Thank you, everyone at home, because we really need you out there. Thank you for your support. And if you want to support us further, festivaloftheartisan.co.uk/box office. Pay what you feel and, just be a part of things to help get music and the arts back out there. Thank you to the Arts Council England. Thank you to the sausage man with his sausages in his veggie bundles. Am I right? Yeah. Veggie bundles. And they bring the festival experience to your home. Tonight, we've got live music starting at 19:30. That's 7:30 in Old Money. With Elaine, we've got The Long Road, got Blair. And now we're going to show you a very special video that's exclusive to the festival. I was asked beforehand to sort of write a festival anthem of sorts that people could join in and sing along to. And we've had a beautiful response from loads of people, literally all over the world. Got a few of my friends on there. Robin George, who's played with Thin Lizzy, Moses Mo from Mother's Finest, Ted Russell Camp, who's played with Shooter Jennings and Duff McKagan and what have you, and my mate Robin Sarstead from out in Spain. And loads of people from all over the world, literally Australia, Atlanta, you name it. And huge thanks to everybody that took part in this. It's great fun. And look out for, there's a Mr. Sausage on there playing the keyboards if you have a look on there. And here's a premiere. So see you later.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Got problems with people and people are working on problems. But a spark will grow and a spark will rise. And bless the day we take the stage and look into your eyes. So sing it out. Sing together, let's
Let's bring together all of life's lost passengers adrift in stormy weather. Sing together, let's come together.
Everybody's fighting as the crumbs fall from the table. Not nearly enough for each of us to get by. Take a brother's hand and help him up if you are able. Be grateful for your gifts and gaze up to the sky. Now it's only temporary. It's not a thing that we can't overcome. No, no. And we're all extraordinary. See you shining brighter than the sun. Sing this song to get you through.
Sing together, let's bring together all our life's lost passengers adrift in stormy weather. Sing together, let's come together. Sing together, let's bring together all our life's lost passengers adrift in stormy weather. Sing together, let's come together. Sing together, let's bring together all our life's lost passengers adrift in stormy weather. Sing together, let's come together. Sing together, let's bring together all our life's lost passengers adrift in stormy weather. Sing together, let's come together. Passengers adrift in stormy weather. Sing together, let's come together. Whoa. Sing together.